The Andarian galaxy had always been a place of immense beauty and quiet order. Millions of stars sparkled across the void, each with its own worlds, civilizations, and secrets. At the center of this vast expanse, the Galactic Empire maintained strict control. Its fleets patrolled the trade routes, its governors kept the systems in line, and its scientists studied every anomaly that appeared in space. For decades, the Empire had known peace. Not because there were no dangers, but because it was always prepared. Humans were a small but vital part of this grand structure. They were often underestimated, but their ingenuity and adaptability made them excellent explorers, strategists, and commanders. In times of crisis, humans could think differently from the Empire's rigid protocols. It was this quality that had saved countless systems in the past. And it was exactly why humans were trusted to face the unknown. One quiet morning, the calm of the outer sectors was shattered. Sensors aboard the Imperial Observation Station, Typhon detected something unusual at the edge of the mapped galaxy. A vessel unlike any known ship appeared, moving silently through the void. Its shape was alien, smooth and reflective, with no visible engines or weapons. Even stranger, it did not respond to scans. The usual methods of detecting energy signatures, chemical compositions, or propulsion systems failed. The station's commanding officer, a stern alien named Vorith, immediately sent a report to the Galactic Empire's High Council. Panic began to spread. The Council had dealt with strange vessels before, but nothing like this. Entire fleets were mobilized, advisors argued over strategies, and whispers of an incoming war swept through the halls. Some feared it was the start of a rebellion. Others believed it was the work of an ancient enemy thought long extinct. In the midst of this chaos, Captain Alara Dax received her orders. She was a human commander, with a reputation for solving impossible problems. Her ship, the Starlance, was fast, well-armed, and equipped with experimental sensors. Her crew was a mix of humans and loyal alien allies, each chosen for their unique skills. Ilara had faced dangerous missions before, but even she felt a twinge of apprehension. This mission would require more than courage. It would demand every ounce of creativity and quick thinking her team could muster. As the Starlance approached the mysterious vessel, the crew stared in awe. The ship seemed to move with a rhythm, almost like it anticipated their every maneuver. It did not fire or respond, yet it maintained a perfect position in the vast emptiness of space. Ilara studied it through the viewports, her mind racing. "What is it doing?" asked Lieutenant Kale, her second in command. He was human, quick-witted, and always ready to offer a different perspective. "I don't know yet," Ilara replied. "But it isn't attacking. That's something." The Starlance's sensors tried to penetrate the vessel's hull. Every scan returned a strange result. Energy fluctuations, but no engines. Power readings, but no reactors. Signs of life, but no biological signals. It was as if the ship was alive, but not in any way they had ever seen. Back at the Galactic Empire's capital, the Council debated what to do. Some members demanded immediate destruction, fearing that the humans' cautious approach was too slow. Others suggested observation and diplomacy, pointing out that destroying an unknown vessel could trigger a galactic war. The Council's indecision only heightened the tension. Fleets moved into position, weapons charged and shields raised, while humans quietly prepared to investigate. Ilara convened her crew in the Starlance's briefing room. Holograms of the mysterious vessel floated in the air, rotating slowly. "We do not know if it is hostile," she said, her voice calm but firm. "We cannot assume aggression. Our job is to find out what it is and why it is here. Everything else comes second." The crew nodded. Each member knew the risks, but they also trusted Ilara's judgment. Humans were known for their courage and problem-solving skills, and her crew represented the best of that tradition. As the Starlance drew closer, the alien vessel suddenly emitted a soft pulse of energy, enveloping the human ship. Lights flickered, sensors went haywire, and the ship's computers struggled to process the readings. Crew members exchanged anxious glances, but Ilara remained composed. "Steady," she commanded. "It's not attacking us. Let's see what it wants." To everyone's surprise, A holographic figure appeared above the bridge. It shimmered like liquid light, constantly shifting in shape, yet unmistakably intelligent. The figure projected a series of symbols and patterns, forming a mathematical language the crew had never seen. Lieutenant Kale stepped forward, his fingers flying over the console as he tried to decode the sequences. "It's communicating," he said, excitement in his voice. "I've never seen anything like this. The symbols, they're like a code, but also a language." Ilara's eyes narrowed. "Keep decoding. We need to understand it before the Empire misinterprets this as an attack." Hours passed as the crew worked tirelessly. Slowly, patterns emerged. The vessel was sending messages about its origins and its purpose. It was not a weapon. It was an ancient exploratory ship, lost for thousands of years and accidentally brought into this sector by a cosmic anomaly. Its creators, a civilization older than the Empire itself, had long disappeared. The revelation shocked the crew. This was no ordinary encounter. The vessel held knowledge of technologies and secrets that could reshape the galaxy, but only if humans approached it carefully. Ilara made her decision. She would inform the Empire cautiously, sharing what she had learned while ensuring no one panicked. But she also knew that not everyone would wait for the truth. There were factions eager for war, ready to strike first without understanding. The Starlance remained near the vessel, observing and documenting everything. Crew members marveled at the advanced design, the self-repairing systems, and the elegant efficiency of the ship. Humans began to feel a connection with it, as if their adaptability and ingenuity resonated with the ancient creator's intelligence. Meanwhile, the Empire's fleets continued to mobilize. News of the anomaly had reached every sector. Rumors of a mysterious vessel sparked fear and speculation. Some believed it was a weapon capable of destroying entire planets. Others thought it might be a spy sent by an unknown enemy. Every officer prepared for battle, even as humans quietly worked to understand the truth. Ilara's crew faced one immediate challenge. The vessel's energy pulses were interfering with the Starlance's systems. Shields flickered, communications were unreliable, and navigation sensors went haywire. Yet the humans adapted. They used manual overrides, creative power rerouting, and teamwork to stabilize the ship. It was a reminder that human ingenuity could overcome even the most advanced technologies. As the day ended, the holographic figure displayed a final, astonishing message. The vessel contained information about ancient warp gates, lost fleets, and hidden resources. If used wisely, this knowledge could strengthen the Galactic Empire and protect countless systems. If used recklessly, it could ignite a war spanning the galaxy. Ilara understood the stakes. She gathered her crew and spoke quietly. "This ship is more than a discovery. It's a responsibility. We have to protect it, understand it, and make sure it doesn't fall into the wrong hands. The galaxy is watching, and humans have a chance to show what we are truly capable of." The crew nodded, inspired by her words. They knew the path ahead would be dangerous. The Empire might panic, rival factions could attack, and the unknown vessel held secrets they could barely comprehend. Yet humans thrived in such challenges. They adapted, they fought, and they solved problems no one else could. As the Starlance remained in orbit near the mysterious vessel, Ilara gazed at the endless stars. The calm of the galaxy was over. Something had changed. Something powerful and ancient had awakened. Humans were ready not because they had the strongest weapons, but because they had courage, ingenuity, and a determination to face the unknown. In the quiet of the bridge, Lieutenant Kale finally smiled. "I think we might just save the galaxy this time." Ilara allowed herself a brief smile. Or at least, change it forever. The unknown vessel shimmered in the void, its secrets waiting to be uncovered. And for the first time in centuries, humans stood at the center of the galaxy's attention, ready to prove that adaptability, intelligence, and courage could outshine fear and panic. The stage was set for a new era, one where humans might just define the future of the stars. The Starlance hovered near the mysterious vessel, its crew still trying to understand the strange ship's purpose. Captain Ilara Dax walked the bridge, her mind racing with possibilities. The holographic figure had already shared incredible knowledge, maps of ancient warp gates, hints of lost fleets, and encrypted data about technologies far beyond the Empire's current understanding. Humans had a unique ability to adapt, but even they could not yet fully grasp what lay before them. Lieutenant Kale was at the console, fingers moving quickly over the keys. "I think I've cracked the basic structure of its language," he said, excitement clear in his voice. "It's almost like it's teaching us how to communicate, step by step." Ilara nodded. "Good. Keep working. We need to understand it before the Empire takes action. And Kale, be careful. If they detect any movement they don't understand, they might assume hostility." Outside the ship, the Galactic Empire's fleets were moving into position. Hundreds of warships, massive and intimidating, spread across the sector, ready for combat. High-ranking officials argued over the Starlance's slow approach. Some believed the humans were stalling, giving the mysterious vessel time to escape or attack. Others admired their caution, but in the end, fear won over reason. Orders were issued. Strike first if the unknown ship moves. Ilara sensed the tension. Humans had always thrived when strategy and creativity mattered more than brute force. She had no intention of letting the Empire, or anyone else, make the first mistake. "We're not going to fight unless we have to," she told her crew. "Our advantage is understanding, not firepower." The holographic figure began to change its behavior. It no longer remained static, instead moving as if curious about the humans. Its pulses of energy had become gentle, guiding patterns across the Starlance's instruments. Crew members noticed subtle hints in the signals, as if the vessel wanted them to experiment, to explore. "Captain," said Kale, "I think it wants us to interact with it more actively. It's almost like teaching us a language through problem-solving." Ilara considered this. Humans had always been excellent at solving problems creatively, often finding solutions that more rigid species could not. "Then, that's what we'll do," she said. "Prepare a small team to board the vessel. Carefully. Observe everything, and record it all." The boarding party was assembled. Ilara herself, Lieutenant Kale, a human engineer named Rin, and 2 alien specialists who had long served alongside humans. They entered the transporter room, and the ship's interface reacted immediately, scanning them in a way that felt intelligent rather than mechanical. Lights danced along the walls, and a soft hum filled the air. Stepping onto the mysterious vessel, the team felt a strange weightlessness, even though gravity seemed normal. The walls glimmered with patterns of light, forming symbols that shifted as they moved. Rin reached out to touch one, and a small holographic diagram appeared in front of him, showing a simple mechanical concept that had never been taught before. "It's teaching us," he whispered. "It wants us to learn." Ilara's mind raced. The Empire would not understand this approach. They would want to destroy first and ask questions later. Humans, however, could see the value in knowledge, in understanding the unknown instead of fearing it. "Take notes," she ordered. "Everything. This could change how we see the galaxy and how the galaxy sees us." As they explored, the holographic figure guided them toward a central chamber filled with strange, floating devices. They resembled mechanical flowers, opening and closing slowly, each with a soft glow. Ilara realized these were not weapons but data repositories. Each device stored information, history, and maps, all encoded in light. Kale stepped forward, connecting a portable analyzer to one of the devices. Instantly, a holographic projection filled the room, displaying star systems and connections that humans had never mapped before. Ancient warp gates linked distant sectors, and coordinates suggested hidden supply caches from lost civilizations. "This is incredible," Kale said, his voice trembling slightly. "If we share this with the Empire, it could save millions of lives, or, if misused, it could start a war unlike any we've seen." Ilara nodded gravely. "Then we must be careful. Humans will be the ones to interpret this first. That gives us the responsibility and the advantage." Back on the Starlance, the Empire grew restless. Messages from the Council were urgent and demanding. "Captain Dax, a communications officer relayed. "You are instructed to destroy the unknown vessel if it does not respond immediately to Imperial commands." Ilara sighed. Humans had always been the bridge between logic and chaos, able to choose a better path even when others acted rashly. "Ignore the threats for now," she said. "We'll show them the right way to handle this." Meanwhile, tensions in nearby sectors were rising. Imperial skirmishes had begun. Small clashes that were mostly miscommunications and overreactions. Human fleets intervened. Not with overwhelming force, but with clever tactics using asteroid fields for cover, creating holographic decoys, and misleading enemy ships into traps. Each action demonstrated that humans did not rely solely on technology, but on adaptability, strategy, and courage. On the vessel, the boarding team continued their exploration. The holographic figure began to display simulated scenarios, testing the humans' reasoning. One scenario involved navigating through a field of cosmic debris to reach a hidden archive. Ilara and her team solved it creatively, earning subtle acknowledgement from the vessel. "It's learning from us," Rin said, astonished. "I think it recognizes human thinking as unique." Ilara smiled faintly. "Humans have always adapted where others could not. That's why we survive, and sometimes, why we lead." Hours later, the team reached the core of the vessel. Here, the holographic figure revealed its most important secret: data about ancient fleets and weapon systems capable of vast destruction. Yet, the vessel's message emphasized caution. Knowledge without wisdom could destroy entire civilizations. Ilara realized the weight of her responsibility. Humans were not just observers, they were guardians now. Their ingenuity and ethical choices would determine whether this discovery became a force for good or devastation. Suddenly, an alert sounded. Imperial patrols had detected the vessel and were approaching rapidly. Unlike the humans, the Empire's forces relied on fear and power, not understanding. They assumed hostility. "Prepare for confrontation," Ilara ordered calmly. Her crew adjusted shields and positioned the Starlance between the boarding party and incoming enemy ships. They did not seek a fight, but they were ready to defend the vessel if necessary. Humans had faced impossible odds before, and their ability to adapt and innovate under pressure was unmatched. When the Imperial fleet arrived, the humans acted with precision. They did not fire first. Instead, they used maneuvering, decoys, and clever positioning to mislead the enemy. The alien vessels, overconfident in their technological superiority, fell into the traps one by one. Humans proved that intellect and strategy could outperform raw power. From the bridge of the Starlance, Ilara watched the Empire falter. "See that?" she said to her crew. "This is why humans are vital. We don't just follow orders, we think, adapt, and act." Kael nodded, awe in his eyes. "We've done more with one small ship than their entire fleet expected." The mysterious vessel remained calm in the center of the unfolding chaos. It seemed to understand that humans were different, not just another species in the galaxy, but one capable of learning, reasoning, and making wise choices under pressure. It had chosen the right crew to guide and protect its knowledge. As night fell over the Endarian galaxy, the Starlance and the vessel drifted together. Humans had not only uncovered incredible secrets, but had also proven their unique value in a galaxy that often underestimated them. The Empire's panic and overconfidence had made them vulnerable, and humans had seized the opportunity not through aggression, but through strategy, intelligence, and courage. Ilara gathered her crew in the main chamber, the floating holograms of the vessel casting gentle light on their faces. "We've done well today," she said softly, "but this is only the beginning. The galaxy is waking up, and it's watching humans more closely than ever. Our choices will shape what comes next." Rin smiled. "I think it already has. Look at how the vessel responded to us. It sees humans differently." Ilara nodded. "Exactly. We've earned trust, but that trust comes with responsibility. There are forces in the Empire that won't understand what we're doing. We have to be ready for anything: conflict, diplomacy, or something no one expects." Outside, the stars continued to shine, indifferent to the dramas unfolding among them. Yet in the quiet of space, a small human crew had begun a journey that would change the balance of power across the galaxy. They were not the strongest, nor the most numerous, but humans were innovative, courageous, and adaptable. And in a universe driven by fear and rigidity, those qualities were more powerful than any fleet or weapon. The mysterious vessel pulsed softly, almost as if acknowledging the humans' understanding. The first stage of connection was complete. Knowledge, trust, and insight had begun to flow, but the galaxy would not wait long before testing their abilities. The Empire's panic was only beginning, and humans would soon find themselves at the center of a conflict that could ignite a new galactic war. Yet for now, in the calm between storms, humans had proven that thought, courage, and adaptability were just as important as weapons. And as Alara looked out into the void, she knew that the coming days would require every ounce of human ingenuity to protect what they had discovered and prevent disaster. The journey had only begun, and the galaxy was watching. The galaxy was no longer calm. The Empire's panic had grown into full-blown tension, and skirmishes had erupted along the outer systems. Humans, with their careful diplomacy and clever tactics, were suddenly the most important players in a game that could decide the fate of millions of worlds. Captain Alara Dax and her crew aboard the Starlance had already proven their adaptability, but the coming days would test them like never before. The mysterious vessel remained near the Starlance, calm and silent, yet it pulsed with a quiet energy, almost as if it knew what was coming. The holographic figure that had guided the humans now seemed to watch them closely, its light patterns reflecting subtle changes as if acknowledging their decisions. Alara understood the vessel better than anyone else in the galaxy. It was not just a ship, it was a guardian of knowledge, and that knowledge was the key to a future the Empire could not yet imagine. "Captain," Lieutenant Kale said, pointing at the view screen. "The Imperial fleets are moving again. They've deployed a blockade around the outer sectors. They've decided we're the problem, not the vessel." Alara's expression remained calm. "Then we show them why humans think differently. Prepare the Starlance for engagement. But remember, our goal is to protect the vessel, not start a war we don't control." Humans had always thrived under pressure. They were not the fastest, nor did they possess the largest ships, but they solved problems that others could not. In every conflict, humans relied on strategy, adaptability, and teamwork. The Starlance would need all of these skills now. As the Empire's ships approached, Alara ordered the crew to execute a series of deceptive maneuvers. Using asteroid fields and cosmic debris as cover, the Starlance avoided detection while sending false signals to the enemy fleet. Holographic decoys projected multiple ships, confusing the Imperial sensors. The Empire, expecting humans to confront them head-on, was caught off guard. "Look at that," Kale whispered, awe in his voice. "They can't tell what's real and what isn't." Alara smiled faintly. "Humans don't need overwhelming firepower if we can make the enemy fight their own fears." Meanwhile, the boarding team had returned to the vessel. The ship's core now displayed advanced schematics of ancient fleets and weapon systems. The humans realized that if misused, this knowledge could destroy countless civilizations. But they also saw the potential to prevent war, to strengthen defenses, and to save lives. The stakes were enormous, and humans understood them better than anyone else. Engineer Rin examined a set of coordinates. These points could be hidden supply caches, long-lost ships, maybe even entire colonies. The Empire would kill for this information. Ilara's eyes narrowed. "Then we make sure it doesn't fall into the wrong hands. Humans will protect it not because we're stronger, but because we know how to act wisely when others panic." The Empire, however, had no patience for wisdom. Misinterpreting the humans' caution as defiance, they launched a preemptive strike. Dozens of warships moved toward the Starlance and the vessel, firing energy beams and missiles. But humans were ready. Alara directed the Starlance with precision. Using the vessel's holographic guidance and her own tactical insight, she led the enemy ships into a series of traps, asteroid clusters, gravity wells, and carefully timed energy pulses created confusion and chaos among the attackers. The humans did not destroy recklessly, they outsmarted their enemy. From the bridge, Kale watched the Imperial ships falter. They can't keep up with us. They're too rigid. That's exactly why humans survive, Alara replied. We think, we adapt. We don't follow predictable patterns. That's the advantage the Empire can't match. Inside the vessel, the boarding team continued to unlock its secrets. The holographic figure presented simulated battle scenarios, testing the humans' decision-making under stress. Each simulation was a puzzle, requiring careful strategy rather than brute force. Alara realized that the vessel was teaching them not just about its technology, but about galactic warfare and leadership. Every decision we make here affects the galaxy, Alara said quietly. We must think like humans, creative, cautious, and bold at the right time. As the battle outside escalated, humans began to turn the tide. Instead of confronting the enemy directly, they created strategic diversions. Smaller human ships, equipped with advanced cloaking and holographic projectors, attacked supply lines and communication hubs. Imperial fleets, expecting frontal attacks, were caught off balance. The humans' ingenuity and coordination gave them a significant advantage, despite being outnumbered. The mysterious vessel continued to assist subtly, projecting signals that helped the humans anticipate enemy movements. It had chosen them carefully, recognizing their ability to think independently and act decisively. The holographic figure pulsed with approval as humans used strategy over sheer force. Amid the chaos, the humans discovered a hidden cache within the vessel coordinates to ancient warp gates. These gates could allow rapid travel across vast distances, giving whoever controlled them a strategic advantage. The Empire would have used them for conquest, but humans saw an opportunity to prevent unnecessary bloodshed. Alara made a bold decision. We secure these gates and protect them. If the Empire tries to seize them, they'll find humans ready not just with weapons, but with strategy and intelligence. The humans executed a complex maneuver. Using decoys and diversions, they led the Empire's flagship into a trap near a dense asteroid field. The ship's sensors were disrupted, and its crew was forced to retreat. The humans had won the battle without destroying anything major, proving that intelligence and adaptability could triumph over numbers and fear. Back on the Starlance, the crew celebrated quietly. They had survived the first real test. But Alara knew the war was only beginning. The Empire would not accept defeat easily, and other factions might exploit the chaos. Humans had to be ready for anything. Rin examined the vessel's holographic maps. Captain, these coordinates could let us reach entire systems before the Empire even knows we're there. Alara nodded. Exactly, but we use them wisely. Humans act with purpose. That is why we survive, and why we can lead. As the sun of a distant star rose over a nearby planet, Alara looked at her crew. Today, humans have shown the galaxy what we can do. Not because we are the strongest, but because we are smart, adaptable, and courageous. That is what makes us different. That is why we matter. The crew felt a renewed sense of purpose. The galaxy was in chaos, but humans were ready. They would face the challenges ahead with creativity, bravery, and strategy, proving once again that they could change the course of events where others failed. The mysterious vessel pulsed softly in the distance, a reminder of the knowledge it held and the responsibility humans now carried. They were the bridge between the unknown and the galaxy's future, the guardians of secrets that could either save or destroy civilizations. And humans were ready. Alara returned to the bridge, staring into the stars. The Empire would come again, other enemies would rise, and battles would follow. But humans had something no other species possessed: the ability to think differently, adapt quickly, and act decisively. The galaxy was dangerous, unpredictable, and full of threats. Yet for the first time in centuries, humans were at the center of its attention. They had proven themselves capable of outsmarting a powerful empire, protecting an ancient vessel, and turning chaos into opportunity. The coming days would be difficult. The Empire's panic had ignited a chain of events that could spiral into full-scale war. But humans were ready. They would meet every challenge, solve every problem, and show the galaxy why humanity mattered. For the Starlance and its crew, the journey had only just begun. Battles awaited. Decisions had to be made. And the fate of entire systems hung in the balance. But humans had proven one undeniable truth. Courage, intelligence, and adaptability were the most powerful weapons of all. And as the stars stretched endlessly across the void, the humans prepared for what came next, determined to shape the future of the galaxy with their ingenuity, bravery, and unyielding spirit. The galaxy had entered a new era of uncertainty. The Empire, humiliated by the humans' strategic victories and shaken by their own panic, had begun to reassess its approach. Skirmishes and clashes continued along the outer sectors, but the humans had demonstrated something the Empire could not ignore. Intelligence and adaptability often outweighed sheer numbers and firepower. Captain Alara Dax and her crew aboard the Starlance now faced the greatest challenge of all, not just survival, but shaping the future of the galaxy. The mysterious vessel remained near the Starlance, its energy pulsing softly, as though it were aware of the humans' intentions. The holographic figure that had guided them through the previous encounters now projected detailed star maps, fleet movements, and historical data. It seemed to trust the humans, responding to their decisions and acknowledging their strategic choices. Alara understood that this was no ordinary ship. It was a living library, a guardian of knowledge that could alter the balance of power in the galaxy. "We can't underestimate what we're holding," Alara said to her crew in the main chamber. "The Empire will not stop, and there are other forces out there who would kill to control this vessel. We have to act wisely. Humans survive because we think ahead, adapt, and act decisively. Everything else follows." Lieutenant Kale nodded. "I've been analyzing the enemy fleet patterns. They're predictable. They expect us to act like them, rigid, reactive. But we can use that against them. The human's edge has always been creativity and timing." Ilara smiled faintly. "Exactly. Let's make them learn that lesson." Using the vessel's guidance, the humans identified a chain of ancient warp gates. If used strategically, these gates could allow them to rapidly reinforce positions, secure systems, and protect innocent populations. But the Empire would surely try to seize them. Ilara devised a bold plan. Humans would secure the gates first, demonstrate their strategic value, and use them to force the Empire to reconsider its aggressive stance. The operation began with careful precision. Smaller human ships, cloaked and guided by holographic projections, moved ahead of the main fleet to secure key points. They avoided direct confrontation wherever possible, instead using misdirection and ingenuity to outmaneuver the Empire's forces. Asteroid belts, gravity wells, and spatial anomalies became their tools. Every move was calculated, and every decision showcased human intelligence and adaptability. Meanwhile, the Starlance and the mysterious vessel moved together, creating a protective shield around the team. The holographic figure provided real-time strategic analysis, suggesting maneuvers that combined the humans' intuition with advanced knowledge. Humans were learning from the vessel just as it was learning from them, forming a partnership unlike any the galaxy had seen. Imperial commanders, frustrated by repeated failures, began to panic. Their rigid strategies could not adapt to the humans' creative tactics. Ships were rerouted, supply lines disrupted, and communication hubs sabotaged without direct engagement. Humans had turned defense into offense, using their ingenuity to protect the vessel and prevent unnecessary casualties. Ilara monitored the operation closely. "Remember, we are guardians first. We don't destroy unless there is no other way. Every move we make must be calculated, precise, and aimed at long-term success." The humans' efforts paid off. One by one, the ancient warp gates were secured. These gates could allow rapid travel across vast distances, providing the humans with an unprecedented strategic advantage. But Alara knew that control alone was not enough. The galaxy had to recognize the value of wisdom and intelligence, not just brute strength. With the gates secured, Alara decided it was time for a direct approach. She arranged a meeting with representatives from the Galactic Empire. Using a combination of diplomacy and strategic demonstration, she planned to show the Empire what humans had accomplished and why reckless aggression would lead to disaster. The delegation traveled to the Empire's capital aboard the Starlance. Imperial leaders, wary and suspicious, met them with caution. Alara began by presenting the facts. Humans had secured the gates, protected the ancient vessel, and prevented a potential galactic catastrophe. She emphasized the importance of intelligence, strategy, and restraint over panic and fear. "The galaxy is vast," Alara said, her voice steady and calm. "Humans have shown that knowledge, creativity, and courage are more powerful than numbers and weapons alone. We did not seek conflict, but we acted to prevent it. The Empire must recognize that panic leads to mistakes, and that cooperation can achieve far more than aggression." The Imperial Council listened, some in awe, others in disbelief. The humans' actions had not only protected the vessel, but also preserved countless lives and systems. They had demonstrated a way forward, one where fear did not dictate decisions, and where intelligence and strategy prevailed. Over the following days, humans continued to demonstrate their capabilities. They used the warp gates to deliver supplies, reinforce vulnerable systems, and establish communication networks. Each action showcased the humans' ingenuity and adaptability. Slowly, the Empire began to understand that their panic and rigid hierarchy had been their greatest weaknesses. Humans, by contrast, had turned chaos into order. Back aboard the Starlance, Alara and her crew reflected on their journey. The mysterious vessel continued to pulse with soft energy, a silent acknowledgement of the humans' accomplishments. Its knowledge, once dormant and incomprehensible, was now being understood and applied wisely. Humans had proven that they were capable of not just surviving, but shaping the galaxy's future. Lieutenant Kale spoke quietly. "Captain, we've done more than I imagined. The Empire will remember this. Humans are not just another species. They are a force that thinks, adapts, and acts. We've changed how the galaxy sees us." Alara nodded. "Yes, but our work isn't done. There will be challenges, other forces, and more tests ahead. But humans have something the galaxy cannot ignore: intelligence, creativity, and courage. That is what defines us." As the humans consolidated their victories, other civilizations began to take notice. The mysterious vessel had been a catalyst, but humans had turned it into a symbol of what could be achieved when intelligence guided action. Word spread across systems. Humans could solve problems, others could not. Act decisively under pressure, and protect the galaxy in ways the Empire could not. The Empire, humbled and thoughtful, finally agreed to a truce. Discussions began about shared governance, cooperative exploration, and protection of knowledge. Humans were recognized not just as warriors, but as guardians and strategists. They had proven that their adaptability, problem-solving, and courage were invaluable to the galaxy's stability. Alara looked out at the stars from the Starlance's bridge. The journey had been long and dangerous, but humans had succeeded where others relied solely on fear and force. The galaxy had learned a lesson that would endure. Strength alone does not secure peace. Intelligence, creativity, and courage do. The mysterious vessel, its purpose fulfilled, prepared to continue its journey through the galaxy. But humans had learned from it, and it had learned from humans. A partnership between species and knowledge had been forged, one that would influence galactic affairs for generations. Alara addressed her crew. "We've done more than survive. We've shown that humans can lead, protect, and inspire. Our ingenuity and courage have shaped the galaxy. Remember this: humans are not just part of the Empire. We are a force that can change the future." The crew nodded, proud and inspired. They had faced fear, chaos, and uncertainty, and had emerged stronger and wiser. They had protected the mysterious vessel, outsmarted the Empire, and secured the galaxy's future. In the distance, stars shimmered, reflecting the endless possibilities that lay ahead. Humans had proven themselves capable of turning crises into opportunities, of using intelligence over aggression, and courage over fear. They were no longer just a part of the Empire, they were a symbol of what humanity could achieve when it embraced its strengths. The galaxy, vast and unpredictable, was watching, and humans had shown that they were ready. Ready to face challenges, solve problems, and shape the future with ingenuity, bravery, and unwavering determination. The Starlance and its crew set a course for new adventures, knowing that the lessons they had learned, and the choices they had made, would echo across the stars. Humanity had earned its place not through domination, but through strategy, courage, and the ability to think differently. The galaxy had finally seen what humans were truly capable of, and so, with the mysterious vessel continuing its journey, and humans standing at the forefront of galactic affairs, a new era began. One where intelligence, creativity, and courage defined the strongest power in the universe. Humans had not only survived the crisis, they had shaped the destiny of the stars,